Good morning, traders. Hope everyone is having a blessed morning. Seeing a couple stocks bouncing around. Good morning, Pat, JC, Dusty, Michael, Picker, Robert, Bulldog Trades, Broke Joe, Pablo, Bob Peterson, Scott, Chad, Robert, Moonski, Nameen, John F. Flo, who loves lunatic, Rad Dad, Super, Ford, Dana, MY, Kenny, Mr. Rodriguez, Bob Smith, David, Ben Holmes, Kyle, Tim, and everyone on Discord. Good morning. Man, you guys are ready this morning. Good morning, Mike, Tim. Well, I saw a few things bouncing around, nothing really promising yet. And if you're new here, we'll be watching this volume spike column for anything that moves. That's what this indicator does. It's watching the volume. If the stock's moving up or down slightly, we'll be the first ones to know. This column over here is monitoring the pre-market 30 minutes back for any stock that may be moving. The slower it moves, the lower the number. The faster it moves, the higher the number. And over here, we'll be watching them on the chart as they spike on the side. When we get one moving, we immediately go to the current volume bar, make sure there's enough volume on that stock to get in and out safely. Other than that, we're sitting here having our coffee, lunch, dinner, depending on wherever you are, waiting on this volume spike to take off. Good morning, Mike, Ron Miller, E. Malik. I think we had about 2 plays yesterday. Hopefully we'll get one good one this morning and another one. I'd like to see 3 or 4 really, but we can't control the market. We can only get out of it what it gives us. Good morning, Hung. Malik, I'm kind of like the old dog. I'm stuck in a rut here. I've done the same thing so many times. I don't ever change. It's like a repetitive motion for me. Good morning, Randy P. Brian Thomas. Good morning, James. Yeah, it's kind of like trading. You get into this groove that works for you. So why leave it? Support and resistance levels, pullback strategy, watching volume spikes. Perfect the same thing. Keep playing the same strategy. You jump around, you start losing it. As a friendly reminder, please mute your mic so I can hear background noise over here. You may not can hear it, but I can. Even if you just put your coffee cup down, I can hear it. Please mute your microphones. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me after the live stream. I always make myself available. All you have to do is click wherever I'm live and join in. Good morning, Brian, James, Fong, Skywalker, Greg R., Ozzy, Skits. It's moving, but it's red. Nothing popping yet. Waiting for that green spike to happen. Good morning, Miller Time Man. Well, is this the kind of morning we're facing or what? Give it a few more minutes here. Hopefully something will take off. Good morning, Miller Time Man, Fix It, Jeff, K Trump, Frank M, Ozzy. I'll take a look at that in a minute for you, John. I think it's 1 minute though. Yes, it's on 1 minute with extended hours checked. We need a blessing this morning. This one little spiking here, 2.6. Looks like it tried earlier. Don't know if I'd trust it or not. Watching this volume indicator right here. From doing nothing to all of a sudden we get a spike, that kind of worries me. Be careful, it's not a pump and dump. It is becoming more bullish. The volume is increasing. Other people are finding it. Nice run up. There should be more people finding it shortly. Hopefully they don't sell it off, that they can leave it green. More people may buy in. The only thing moving, what choice do they have? Good morning, JC, Alex Tan, Hollywood. Well, that's not a good one. I'll mark it as a pullback, but I don't believe it is. We can get this candle to close. Yes, it is. I probably just have it zoomed in too much. That candle did close. If it's going to bounce from this level here. I did mark it a little bit high there, I'm noticing. Not looking too promising. So if you're new here, I prefer to play the pullbacks on these stocks. I don't chase green candles on the way up unless I catch it right at the very beginning, and even then I'll think twice about it. I like to see them run up, then pause, then pull back, then other people find it and they run up again. That lets me know they're not just pumping it up, selling it off, and I got in over here and lost all my money. So waiting on pullbacks is a very strong strategy. If you're here every morning, you see me do it over and over again. This one didn't work out. Of course, I didn't trust it from the beginning. Good morning, Robert Pro. Thank you, Mario. I'm actually learning from myself as well. Every time I teach you guys, it refreshes my brain as well. Looks like they may be trying to move it. Not very promising, though. Looks like everybody's just waiting to take profits on the little bump, like, why did I get in here? Mario, if you hang around us every morning, you'll catch on what's going on here. I'll do a demonstration later about 6:30 for the new people. And I thank you for joining us this morning. We're waiting on stocks to pop up. This is our live scanner right here. It's letting us know the moment a stock moves up or down by showing us a volume spike. Good morning comes to mine and Brandon. So far, not so good. Only this one. It went up just a little. Actually, it went up a lot, but then it pulled back fast. You chase green candles here, you're probably in the hole. I don't like chasing them. I learned my lesson a long time ago. Good morning, Mulch Star. ANGH on the move here. Let's let it run up and pull back, see if we can get anything out of it. I'll mark support and resistance levels if we get any. So we wait on the candle to close, then we mark the high of that candle. Hopefully we get a pullback to back down here somewhere, and then play the bounce up. Not seeing a whole lot of volume. This is not a play, in my opinion. There's nothing here exciting to jump in on. We are getting that pullback. We're either getting a pullback or I'm getting out. Got to wait on this red candle to close. Like to always see it pull back about half of the previous candle, and that's exactly where it's at. More is better. It closed here. So this would be your entry level, providing we get a green candle and it looks like it's going to just sell off. That one's a no-go. Patiently waiting. I'm hearing microphones in the background. Please mute them. If you don't, I'm going to have to do a server mute on you. And if I forget to unmute you, you won't have a microphone on Discord. So if you do it, it's much easier than if I do it. Malik, I don't predict profits. I simply satisfied with whatever the market rewards us after a pullback and a run up. But you can use whatever indicator makes you profitable. I'm sure there's more tools than what I've got up here on the screen that probably would enhance this a little bit more depending on your trading strategy. We really need things to turn around. It's been not so good of a week. That's still CANF. It did pull back. Nothing there. Nothing there. And nothing there. Scott, it's on 1 minute. Elgar, if you can hear me on Discord, could you please mute your mic? It's down there in the bottom left corner. Just click on the microphone. All right, another server mute coming up. Rely, didn't see that one running up because I was having to mute somebody's microphone. Hopefully you guys caught it before I did. Maybe we'll get a pullback and I'll still be able to play it. Nice little bounce here. May not get a pullback. They may just run it on up. Volume is quite strong. If you look at this green label here, it's really kicking. Maybe a pullback here. Would like to see it come down to my mouse line there at the bottom of that candle. All right, I got another microphone rattling. Man, I hope I remember all these server mutes. You guys may not have a microphone. There's our pullback. It's going to bounce. It's going to do it from this level, or it's going to sell off. Need to see a green candle come in here. But it looks like we're going to pull back even more. We'll keep an eye on it. We don't have anything else moving currently. It has some resistance to get through now. Now it's got to break back through this resistance level. Robert, it appears to be 4 or 5 minutes it needs. I've been trying to figure that out myself. I did work on another indicator yesterday, but this is going to be the most accurate one. If I just take a volume indicator and convert it, then it's really radical and you can't really tell what's going on. The way I programmed it is going to be the best way possible so that they're not so close together you can't tell which way it's going. This is the way we can tell. You can see the buyers coming in. They're starting to raise the buyer signal here. Would much rather see this green above the red and the red down here, but now the buyers have to catch up. It's running into resistance here. Looks like it's going to maybe break through. The buyers are coming in slowly. But if you look at this red line, the sellers are also taking profits. So if you're new here, these are sellers, these are buyers. This is volume. This is not a directional indicator for the price. The higher the lines are on here on the indicator, that just means it's higher volume. Lower volume is down here. So we have buyers at the lower volume level. Probably going to be a no-go. So to play this stock, the first thing you have to have is no microphone noise. The second thing is you have to catch it as soon as it spikes here if you're going to play the first run up. I don't really recommend that, but there are some traders out there that love to play the first run. So if that's your strategy, then more power to you. I hope you get profitable. I'm not here to change you, just here to give you better tools to enhance however you trade. But if you do listen to me and you set up like this, we've been quite profitable with this setup. See, Rely still bouncing off of that resistance level, still hasn't broken through. Buyers are coming in, but the sellers are right there with them. All quiet on the watch list now, hardly any volume spikes, not so good of a start for this morning. But just be patient, they always happen. We get at least one good one. Hopefully we'll get that one this morning around 7 o'clock. Or now would be good. All we can do is wait on this column. Kind of unpredictable, don't know where it wants to go. I would say that's going to be a resistance level. Even if it does jump up here, it'll probably pull back down. We do have about 10 active stocks in the list. You can see how accurate this volume spike is. As soon as it moves, you see that green candle starting to grow. This play would have been back here on a chasing green candle run. That's all we could have got out of it. We did not get a bounce off of the support level. Now it's just bouncing around, probably no play. So if you're new here, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I've been trading since the 1990s. I'm also a ThinkScript coder, and I code my own scripts. Coded this volume spike indicator a while back, probably about 4 or 5 months ago. And it monitors the volume of a stock to let you know if it's going up or down, and it's going to let you know immediately by these percentages and these bullish and bearish signals. Once we get a volume spike, we look over here at the chart. This is a pullback strategy I use. It consists of the 5 and the 13 EMA. We look for a crossover after that volume spike. We also monitor this current volume bar, make sure there's plenty of volume ticking by so we can get in and out safely. So once it spikes, we immediately go here. Yes, there's volume. We look over here to see if we have a crossover of those moving averages. We look for a green label down here. This is the overall volume. Is the overall volume bearish or bullish? And it's bullish at the current time. Up here we have another label that's monitoring this candle. There, it just kicked in. Now this candle is bullish. It's letting you know the buyers are coming in. This one made several attempts already this morning. I don't know where we're going with this one now. I would have to wait on a pullback to play it, so I would mark the top of this candle when it closes. This morning they seem to be quite unpredictable. They're not following the rules. Nice run up here on ANGH. So just out of the blue, this one takes off. Would have been a hard play. You would have had to chase green candles and guess at it. So back to my introduction, we watch for this to happen, exactly what's going on right here. We were watching the volume spike. All of a sudden, the stock took off. We had a crossover of the lines. You'll see these white arrows pop in as the buyers are coming in. These are spike arrows. We like to see green up here and green down here. I'm watching for a pullback while I do this. Once that happens, you make your decision to buy on the pullback. If you're a green candle chaser, you probably could play this stock. Not getting a good pullback here. I'd have some more buyers loading up. This is what we do every morning. We come here and we watch the volume spike indicator. This indicator here that I also developed is looking back 30 minutes in pre-market. It's letting you know anything that's moving. If it's moving, it gives it a score depending on how strong it's moving. If the number's low, it's going to get a low score. If it's moving fast, you'll see a higher number. So this column's looking for the stocks for you. This one's letting you know when they're spiking. And you take it over to the chart to make your play. Never trade off of my screen. Sometimes my screen is really delayed. Sometimes it's pretty quick. So make sure you get set up on your own computer if you play this strategy. Visit our YouTube channel. I just put the link in the chat. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, that's where all of my videos are. That's also where you will find new releases of indicators when I create them. We've launched 2 over the last several weeks. And we'll launch them there every time we have a new one. Make sure you watch the videos, like the videos, comment on the videos, let YouTube know what kind of a job I'm doing over here. It also lets me know what kind of a job I'm doing. In the description of every video, you will find a link to our Discord. Join our Discord to get this set up. If you don't know how to install indicators, labels, and scripts, watch video number 8 in how-to videos. It'll walk you through installing this entire setup. You could probably do it in about 20 minutes. Once you get it loaded, come here each morning and trade it live with us. Learn how to use it. We've had many new beginners that are into profit. We've had some experienced traders. I've turned their lives around. There were a lot of people struggling in the current market. I was still profitable, so I decided to give all this away, help everybody out. And it's been one big blessing for me. I really enjoy doing it. Over on Discord, you'll find this script and current setup. Video number 8 will walk you in on the install, walk you right through it. Visit our trading rooms. We have trading floor with River Place Dad and Gregster posting their stocks as they do their due diligence. Over in Options Trader, we have It's Me Bob. He's the options guy over there. He really knows what he's doing. You may want to pay attention to him. When he gets enough participants, he'll hold a live stream to take you a little bit deeper into options. We have general chat where everyone can just go talk, meet each other, post comments, etc. If you have any questions, post them in support. If I can't get to you, somebody will. We are one community that's everyone's pitching in, so there's no telling who you'll get in support, but the person that answers probably knows what he's talking about. So as you learn, we all pitch in as one community and help each other out. I appreciate you joining us this morning as we wait on stocks to pop up in the volume spike. Good morning, Shoki, Martina, DK, Jim. Good morning, Francisco. Pretty quiet morning this morning. We would have had to chase green candles to earn any money. I haven't chased any. Not too good of a pullback this morning. Good morning, AC, James L., Scott. Our next best opportunity for another stock will be around 7 o'clock. Usually news is released at the top of the hour. Hopefully we'll get some news on something and get at least one play in this morning. Morning, Dudley. ANGH just bouncing around, nothing promising. I'm watching these other scans. It looks like earnings is not doing so good this morning. Of course, it may not have released earnings yet. It may do it at market open. You can tell right here on this new indicator who's dominating what's happening up here. You can see that the sellers are outnumbering the buyers on this stock. So if you don't know what this indicator is and you're new here, what I did is we have the overall volume being monitored right here. If there's more buyers or more sellers, but you couldn't keep these numbers calculated in your head to get an overall picture of was there more buyers or was there more sellers overall. So I converted these numbers into two lines you could see on the chart, so you could see the history of the overall volume. You can see that the sellers are outnumbering the buyers on this stock. So you can see the volume visually here, or in a percentage up here. Good morning, Jimmy. Enjoy your coffee. We're in a dead zone. Nothing happening. Probably won't happen till 7 o'clock or close to it or just slightly after. You can see the volume died off on this stock. This is high volume up here, low volume down here, and we're down in the low range. Good morning, Jason. Watching this volume spike column, that's all we do every morning. The stocks come to us. We don't go searching. If they're moving, we'll be one of the first to know. I guess we're second to know because somebody else moved it to let us know. Miller Time, they're over on YouTube, the majority of them. There's instructional videos over on Discord. But as far as indicators and labels and scripts, the videos are over on YouTube. You are welcome. Watch the old ones and the new ones. They all contain valuable information. You'll actually see where we didn't have these indicators at the beginning, and everything developed over the last 6 or 7 months. I only started this channel about 6 or 7 months ago. So it's still fairly new, hasn't had its first birthday yet. Good morning, Rodrigo. Rodrigo, yes, it does. From what I can recall, let me right-click on it, edit formula. Yes, it does have EXT checked. And you should be at 0, 0 up here on the indicator threshold, up or down. You are welcome. Andy, you only missed a couple, and we would have had to chase them to play them. We haven't had a decent pullback yet. Kind of like out of the blue, they just take off, but then we don't get a pullback, and then they pull back. So nothing really ran up strong for us. May have gotten 20 cents out of one of them if you chased it. No volume on SCPA. Our list is getting shorter. That means less stocks have been moving over the last 30 minutes. We've lost half of the 10. We're down to 5. Thank you, Dwayne. We just have to have the patience to let it build up a history. I think it's only like 5 minutes, but if it's been moving prior to, it's going to already be plotted for you. If you put this on a high volume stock, it'll probably be plotted for quite a ways back. It's when we're in pre-market and we have no data that it doesn't know what to do, and then we click on it and it's trying to calculate the past. And it kicks in and starts plotting that stock for you. Robert, that's up to the man upstairs. Every time I think I'm done, I keep coming up with a greater idea. I've released 2 in the last 2 weeks, so I'll probably take a little break here for a couple weeks. I got him. That's like 7 or 8 on server mute this morning. I warned him. You don't have your mic muted, I'm going to mute you. Chances of getting unmuted depends on if I remember I muted you. Remember that. You're welcome, Robert. Dudley, ThinkorSwim hasn't developed anything. I'm a coder. I write these on scripts. I create them. I'm the one that brings them to reality. Then you import them into ThinkorSwim to use. This one was just created about 2 weeks ago. I test them for about a week. And I try to test them on these live streams so everybody can get used to what I've done. And they pretty much know what to expect when I release it. I think that's the best way to do it. And I have everybody on YouTube. I'll get 1,000 questions. Well, what is this? Or nothing's live on ThinkorSwim. That's the most popular one. Well, if you don't think it's live, don't use it. Always the naysayers. Then I'll get the comment, wow, you were right. I put this on my computer and it is fantastic. SBSWJC says. Not so promising. I see AI stock on the move this morning. Light volume, very light volume. Now we're down to 3 stocks. What are they doing to us? And if you go over to Discord and click on the how-to videos, I put that video up there yesterday. Show you how to set it up. Also put a video up there so you could set up for pre-market and know what's going on and how to trade it. No problem, Rodrigo. That's why I'm here, to get you going. So, Ben, you have to really be familiar with the platform you're trading on. So if you have a watch list and you have a bunch of stocks in it, this is actually a scan. So I have multiple scans over on Discord. This is our pre-market scan. Once I load that scan, then I bring that scan up in a watch list, and I can select all of my scans right here. Then once we get the pre-market scan loaded, and when I click on one, it moves to the chart because I have this color here. This is a link, and I selected green. And on the chart, I selected green. And when I click, it moves the stock over to the chart. You can select any color you prefer. I prefer the color of money. And it's definitely there. There's a gear icon right next to your buttons on the right side. That's where you start. It says that in the video as well. So the best way to learn what we're doing here is you join the Discord, watch the how-to videos, and you load these indicators on your computer. It's steps 1 through 4. It'll be steps 1 through 5. I have not yet put this up there. But in current setup, follow steps 1 through 4. Then you can come here every morning at 6 a.m., watch how to use these tools, or indicators, whatever you want to call them. Or you can view any past live stream. There's probably 50 or 60 of them up there, maybe more. And you'll catch on by watching me use them live. That's the best way for you to learn. Actually, the best way is here live, but if you can't make these live sessions, then watch the live videos. DK, I sort by the Momo. That is correct. And you can sort by it just by clicking on the name till all the numbers come up to the top. During the day, you can click and sort by volume spike and bring all the volume spikes up to the top. That way, after 9 o'clock, when the market dies, if you sort by volume spike, you'll catch anything that's moving. Malik, that's probably the most asked question. People get set up and then they reload ThinkorSwim and it's not the same. If you click the gear icon that's next to your chart minute button, and then you click time axis. Let me pull this window over there so you'll know. There's nothing happening on the window, so I'll drag this over here real quick. So to get it to remember your settings, you click this gear icon, you click time axis, and where it says keep time zoom, uncheck it, then set your computer up like you like it, then come back in here and check it back, apply it and OK, and it'll keep the settings. Silo, silo, everybody's screaming silo. So another thing is scans on ThinkorSwim, they only refresh every 5 minutes. So as you can see in the chat, people are calling stocks out to me sometimes because my scans had not yet refreshed and theirs probably did. So they're seeing stocks like this before I do. Sometimes I see them before they do. It depends on who refreshes first. So there's going to be times where our stocks list doesn't match each other, and it's not an error. It's just that it hasn't refreshed yet. It's an auto refresh. You cannot adjust it. It's going to happen when it happens. Jason Barnes, I don't set volume. That's an automatic thing. Small pullback on this stock. I didn't mark it out. But you can see it was here. It pulled back, not quite half of this candle. It did, but it pulled back up a little. So it probably won't spike up here, or it might. It can make a liar out of me. This is the stock market. I can go get coffee and make every stock rise. I have that magical power. So I was correct. It didn't do much of anything. So when you participate in these live streams over and over and over, you'll eventually be able to tell a story about this stock candle by candle. You'll be saying, okay, I see what they're doing there. Okay, now they're going to sell off a little bit and take profit. Let's see if some more buyers come in, and then that's when you strike. You do this over and over and over, it becomes just natural to you. It seems difficult with all of this stuff up here, but it's really not. It's a spike. It's green. It's green. We see the green candles. We have a lot of volume. It's pulling back, and do we want to buy or not? It becomes a natural thing to do. It's not that you're counting numbers or anything. You're watching the strategy set itself up. Once the strategy's there, you pull the trigger. This is nothing I'd pull a trigger on. It did get a pullback, but 4 candles down. That's 4 minutes later. That's how things seem to be working this morning. We like to see immediately pull down and a jump up, but now we have this 3 or 4 minute delay. That was a nice 25-cent bounce there. Had you guessed that it was going to go up? Installer Pro, isn't that good how that works? You know, there's so many people that's been doing that for so many years. It's kind of like it's not an indicator, it's a strategy. Yes, it'll definitely keep you from chasing and losing. Good job, David. Julian, I'll post a link to Discord in the chat. If I can find my mouse, it's over here on one of these screens. There's the link to Discord. Make sure you accept the disclaimer once you sign up so the channels will pop in. You'll see all the channels on your left. You already know how to install indicators and scripts and labels, then you don't need to watch video number 8. But video number 8 will also tell you where they're located on Discord. I'm using a wireless mouse. I'm using a ball mouse, not the one you slide all over the table. It takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, I'll never go back. You are welcome. No, it's a thumb roller mouse, not a finger. So I move my thumb to move the mouse. I also have a wheel. I can go up and down with a wheel. Well, it's not the morning I was expecting. I was hoping to have 2 stocks done by now. Would have had to chase two to get any money. I did not chase them. Hopefully something else will happen before market open. The list is getting longer again. Some stocks are waking up. It's after 7 o'clock. So just because you don't see anything happening over here doesn't mean we're not doing a good job. We're just waiting on the market to move. We need something moving. If it moves, it's going to immediately jump here in the volume spike. Even if it just moves a little bit, we're going to know. I want to see this number rapidly rising. Then I immediately go to this current volume bar to see if this number, if the volume is really flying, the buyers are coming in. And they're not on this one. Probably a single purchase somebody made and we were aware of it. Jimmy, that's not good. So you might not have had any buyers there or any sellers if you were buying. You may have clicked the buy button. Nobody was willing to sell. Or if you were trying to get out, you were trying to sell, but there were no buyers. That's why we like to have high volume. Robert, I know there's a volume profile tool or something like that that puts the blue bars going across your screen, but I think they're over here on this side. I don't use it. I don't need it. In all honesty, for me, this is almost too much right here. But they work so well, I have them on the screen. Rodrigo, once the market opens, it's kind of like a dog race. Who's going to win? That's the best I could put it. It's going to fire up in this column. There's going to be so many different stocks going up and down. It's going to be hard to determine which one's the right one for you. So I tend to monitor these top 3 or 4 or 5. I'm watching these volume spike numbers. If I see one running up at market open, I will click on it and wait for a pullback before entering. I won't chase those market open candles. I've seen big green candles with the bigger red one right after it. So if it's a strong stock and it runs up at market open and it only pulls back slightly, that's going to be the one you want to play. Not the one that gives you that big green candle, then a big red one, and then a short green one, and then another green one, and then a big red one. I don't chase those kind of stocks. Want the one that runs up, pulls back slightly, runs over to the right, hits my support and resistance levels, and runs up again. Tom, you have to accept the disclaimer. If you see the words disclaimer on the left, click it and accept it. So even though we have all these indicators, you want to focus on volume. This is volume. This is volume. And you want to focus on price action. Is the price going up? Is it hitting support levels or resistance levels? Did it hit a resistance and it's pulling back to support? And always on support, when they run up and pull back to support, that's going to be your entry, providing it's performing the way it should. And like I explained earlier, big green candle, a slight pullback on the red, hopefully not more than half of the previous candle. And you'll see me mark those levels if it happens this morning. PCBP moving a little bit here. Not liking these tall candle wicks on the top. These are sellers driving the price back down. So as soon as it goes up, somebody's selling and driving it back down. You can see low volume here. It's not really ticking like it should. We have sellers popping in every now and then. Don't know if I would call this a pullback on a low volume stock. It's not good enough strength really to call it accurately. And we only had 31,000 on the last candle. It is increasing. Now you can see this candle has more volume than the previous. That's an indication it's going to go back up more. Problem is, will it hold it once it gets up there? The cheaper stock, only moving a nickel or so, or pennies between the numbers, 69 to 72. Is it worth me throwing a few $1,000s at? No, sir, not me. That's why, right there. Up 2 pennies, up 6, down 6. Don't like these penny stock plays. Let me check SOPA. It's not on my scans. Cheaper stock. Not on my scans because I'm set down at 25 cents. It probably didn't trigger on mine. The list is getting longer. We are becoming more active in pre-market. The SPY's been trickling down the entire time we've been online. It may be holding everything back. Do I monitor our vol? I do take a glance at it, but I'm mainly focused here. If I see something running, I may occasionally glance over and see how many times volume is greater than previously. You don't know what these numbers mean. This 12 right here means the volume is 12 times higher than previously. Or it's 0.99 higher than previously, or 20 times higher. This number is going to change when this takes off. That's why I don't pretty much watch this. But I do glance at it to see if it is a mover for today. And to be quite honest with you, I could take all these indicators off over here, and I could just trade these two columns and support and resistance lines. That's really all I need to trade. And you'll get there once you learn volume and price action. You'll realize what I just said is true. Did you really need them? Yeah, you did to learn. Do they help? Of course they do. But you'll get good enough to where you'll say the same thing later. There was a 40-cent run right there. Let's see if we can get it. That's a 50-cent run now. Actually, it's a $1 run. See if we can get a pullback and get into this one. Looks like the volume is dying. I'm watching it right here. Not a strong run. It was impressive. Somebody big came in, but nobody followed up. Let's see what happens here. I don't think it's going to follow up. There's no volume whatsoever. 3,000 on that last one. It's probably a one-time purchase. Somebody making a little bit of profit with a large amount of shares. Wonder if they were able to get out since they were the one buying when they were also the one selling. So when you see a stock that's not real volatile, but it's continually on an angle and pulling up, if you want to take a chance on it, you would wait on a red candle to pull back to this 5 moving average. Like that. And hopefully it will run up again. So your entry would have been back here when it was red. The volume is so low. Would I risk that play? Probably not. Especially since it's been such a slow climb. This is what, 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. But it's still going. It's probably going to slow crawl all the way to wherever that level may be. Julian, this is not a support channel. I would help you if I didn't have to walk you through the whole setup. But post your question over in support. Somebody will help you, or I'll get to it later after this live stream. So had you gotten in down here on this red one, now you're losing it. This is why I don't get in. And yes, everything is free. And if you're on Discord during the day, we do have a hacker on board. He's been switching names. If someone confronts you trying to make you buy something, deposit money somewhere in another exchange, don't fall for the scammer. You'll deposit your money. It's a fake exchange and you lose your money. They take it out. Gotta watch the criminals. They're very strong. We don't sell you anything. If there's something to be sold, it's going to be sent out as a group message, not an individual message. And I have nothing to sell, so that message will probably never happen. Don't fall for the scammers. I can't control them. They're not a member. They're coming in from the outside. They're hacked in somehow. Sometimes they use my name. Sometimes they use a moderator's name. Sometimes they use a random name. They'll try calling you. Don't answer the call. I think if we simply just ignore them and don't respond, they may go away. Probably not likely, but I'm hoping. CANF. You can see this level, this resistance level all the way back here. So it would need to break through, come back down, retest this level before the next pop up. Let's look at the big picture on this one. Let me zoom out a bit. So it doesn't look so strong anymore, right? Looks like it's just been pulling back. A slight bump up here, probably a slight bump up here. ABVC running up. Man, I've got like 10 of you guys on server mute. Wish you would mute your microphones for me. You're on server mute. I may forget to unmute you and you'll wonder why your mic doesn't work anymore. Waiting to see if we get a pullback here. That would be resistance. Let's see if we can get it to come down. It did come down, but didn't stay. I want it to close down there. There's not much money here. I'm not going to play it, but I'll mark it out for you and see what happens. As soon as this candle closes, I'll throw a support level there. Look like we're not going to get the pullback play. It's going to continue running up a little bit more. It's got to break through here, though. It needs to break through 206 now and come back down and retest 206 to run up. It did break through. So now this becomes a support level. That's providing this candle closes above it. Number 11 on server mute. You don't know where your microphone button is, it's on the bottom left of Discord. If you click on that microphone, you can mute it for me and avoid me muting you. Continuing to run up. It should come back down and retest 206. We're getting there. Looking like we're going to run up a little more. So there's more buyers than sellers. I wish we had it plotted down here. That's what I don't like about this indicator, but that's the best way for it to work. It'll probably kick in here in a minute. We must have played this stock before. Here's a resistance level up here already. We are pulling back to 206, it looks like. That's really what we want it to do. Looks like the party might be over for that one. It's dying out. Did come down to 206 just then, just bumped it. There we go again. This is always your entry level is the support. When we come back down and retest the level, that would be your entry, but wait on a green candle. I don't think I would play this stock. The volume is not really that good on it. And it looks like we got 3 1-minute candles here. They could just get tired of it and start selling off. We do have a green candle at support. That's what I thought was going to happen. They've given up on it. Always wait for confirmation. Don't try to buy that little tiny green candle. Let's make it run and catch it as it's running up, not just as it's bouncing on a little green one. Not the perfect setup on that one. I can't find him. The sound is not loud enough on my end for me to pick him up. I've been looking though. Good job, Ben. Warlock. And Ben, yes, it's kind of hard to pick them this morning. You see one you like, just stick with it and watch it. You don't have to watch me chase them. I'm trying to find him still. I hear his kids in the background. But it's not loud enough to trigger a response on my end. Shot still going up here. Well, trying to anyway. Not marking out this pullback because I don't think it's going to be a pullback. It's not really responding like pullbacks. It's probably profit takers. And then more profit takers can come in because they see the big red candle. Or the buyers could come in and play the dip here. Looks like the sellers are right up there with the buyers. I would think it's going to be a slow week starting tomorrow. It may have started today already because people will be traveling out of town for Thanksgiving. They may knock off of the stock market for a few days. So it's already slow. If you don't think it can get slower, just watch. It will happen. So probably be hard stock plays this week. Probably much like this morning, everybody trying to find something. Good morning, Lance. So if you're new here at 8 o'clock, I will be taking a 10-minute break. 8 o'clock is our dead zone. Of course, it's dead now, but it'll be even deader at 8 o'clock. And I'll take a 10-minute break, get up, stretch your legs, go get you some coffee, look out the window, rest your body. When I come back at 8:10, about 8:25, we'll set up for market open, see if we can make a play there. ANGH making a move here. You can see the buyers coming in down here. Buyers are still coming in. Sellers are kind of laying flat. I don't know why this guy's not showing up on the microphone. Good morning, Eric. Timothy, which one looks like the Elliott wave? The SPY is still falling. You're just popping in. We've only had a few plays. We would have had to chase down to get a piece of it. Some of us tried, some of us didn't. I didn't. It's been kind of acting like this. You get a run up and then you get a long pause. Then you get a few more buyers coming in. You can see the percentage increasing over here. Timothy, you're talking about the one down here, the green and the red line? I love being able to see the volume. This is a volume down here. These are buyers, these are sellers. I took the volume and broke it down so you could see, you could actually see the volume. What's happening? Is there more buyers or sellers? Oh, I see what you're talking about. These are moving averages, but I understand the Elliott wave as well. Look at these buyers here. Look at these sellers. Good morning, Old Thumb. Kind of boring this morning. No high volume plays, unless you wanted to chase a green candle. But after they ran up, they just kind of paused and stopped. No great pullbacks to play. SHOT. Let's see if I can find it in the list here somewhere. I'm not seeing it. I'll type it in, and then it'll pop up, and it'll be right under my nose. Nope, it's not on the charts. Wow, destruction. Kind of looks like the SPY. You could have spotted this coming if you were watching this indicator. Right here, you see the sellers dominating. I think this indicator can really save you some money. But it's new. We're still all learning it. It's performing like it should. It's these little subtle movements you have to pay attention to. Solo, if the stock has high enough volume, such as this stock, you should have lines down here. There's no adjustments or anything needed. It does have to have a history, so it may need to build up for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and then it'll start plotting. But since this one had a lot of volume starting back here, it started plotting way back there. But prior to this movement, it didn't have enough volume to throw an indicator line up there. So if you put it on a stock with enough volume, you should have lines. Now, if you're paper trading, you might not. These indicators don't work on paper trading or on demand. They do sometimes, but on paper trading, I don't think they work at all. You are welcome. Relative volume means how many times greater the volume is trading than previously. So this stock would be trading 1.6 times greater than the previous volume. This one would be 14 times greater than the previous volume. Brian, if it has volume, it should work. I don't trade futures, so I don't want to lead you in the wrong direction. All I can really tell you is to try it and see how it functions. If it can help you, then it does. But because I don't trade futures, I don't know how to apply it to futures. The previous average volume, Andy. So if the stock normally trades 500,000 shares on average, and then today it's at 1 million, it would be a 1.0. Really have to have continuous volume for these kind of indicators to work. So if futures kind of has a little bit of volume, then it has a little bit more later, they probably won't work for you. Andy, it could be over the day, over the week, over the month. It's an average volume of that stock. So if normally it's at 500,000 shares for a year back, and then all of a sudden it's trading at 1 million, then it'll have a higher relative volume. It's not a day, it's not a week, it's not a month, it's not a year, it's an average volume. Thank you, old thumb. Andy, look at it this way. If you ran the mile every day and your average was 4 minutes, and one day you got superhuman strength and you ran the mile in 2 minutes, you're going to have a relative volume of 1 because you ran it twice as fast. Because today is when the average volume was increased. Just like you ran the 4-minute mile for a year, and today you ran it in 2 minutes. So today you're going to have a higher score. Well, I just explained it as simple as I could. If you want to make it harder, that's going to be on you. All I'm saying is if you take an average number and all of a sudden it's twice as much, then you're going to have a higher relative volume. All right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. It's a little after. I'm going to take my 10-minute break here. I'll be back. All right, I am back. So the stock market will be closed on Thanksgiving Day. It will only be opened until 1 p.m. on Friday. I will not be holding a live stream on Friday. So tomorrow will be the last live stream for this week. And we may call it early today if this keeps up. Man, there's actually nothing happening. The SPY is still falling. No activity. Of course, we're between that 8 and 8:30. It'll get a little volatile at market open. That's probably going to be our last chance because by 9 a.m. it will die again. Our BOT trying to make a move here. Cheaper stock at around 45 cents. 41 cents. 45. Thank you, Marilyn, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Of course, we still have one more day to go here, so I'll tell you again tomorrow. Good morning, Island Man. Good morning, Gregster Trades. Hope you brought some stocks with you. It's been slim picking this morning. Just a couple of runners, you'd have had to chase them to do any good. Good morning, Stonks. Good morning, Rosemary. Good morning, Keith. See everybody popping in here for market open. I'm assuming they don't trade pre-market. Good morning, Keith. Yeah, I understand. 4 a.m. is early. But is it worth making $400 or $500 to get up early? That's the question I always ask myself. Not a guaranteed $400 or $500, but it's guaranteed something. All right, let's go ahead and change over. I'm going to pull up the 50-minute scan. So instead of it looking back 30 minutes in pre-market, we're now looking back 50 minutes. And at market open, I like to sort them by volume spike. Bring all the volume spikes to the top. I'll be monitoring the top volume spikes. We see something rising, I'm going to click on it, and we'll try to mark out a pullback if we get one. So all the ones that are running up are going to be up here at the top. Of course, some of them will be down here, but not running up as strong as the ones that are going to be up here. Down here, we're going to put high flyers. That's been a good one. So on this scan, if you're first time here, the moving averages are stacked. And when I mean stacked, I mean the 5 is above the 13 is above the 34, the 34 is above the next level, and the price is above the 5 moving average. So everything's in the proper order in these stocks. See Microsoft on the move here. If you're over on Discord, could you please mute your microphones for me? I have muted probably a dozen of you, so if you don't have a mic later and I forget to unmute you, you won't be able to communicate on Discord. I'll try to remember what 12 I did. But it keeps the background noise out of this live stream, so you don't break concentration of the guy that's trying to make a living. Tim, I have some videos on Discord of how to set up to trade pre-market. Go over to how-to videos and watch those videos. I tell you how to set up your ThinkorSwim where it's an instant buy and instant sell without having to do a confirmation of every trade. Also show you how to change your buttons where you click and you're in instantly and out instantly. So here's Shot, which dove drastically earlier, trying to recover before market open. Moving averages are now in the proper order. Price is above the 5 and rising. Yes, sir, John, you sure do. This is where you're going to know which ones are really moving, is watching these volume spikes. You want the ones that have a good volume spike, and then you want to wait on a pullback on the candles. You are welcome. Good luck, everybody. It's going to get very volatile. So SBSW really bouncing up here. It is in the high flyers. Want to wait on the pullback if you're going to play this one. So when this first candle tops out, you'll throw a line. Hopefully you'll get a pullback, then you throw the bottom line and wait for the bounce back up. Looks like this one's the dominant stock this morning. Waiting on this candle to close. And it closed. Now we need a pullback to at least half of this candle. Good job, Kenny. Sometimes you got to take that chance. I understand. I do it myself. We are coming down here for the pullback. Need this candle to close. Looks like the buyers are taking over here. Too bad we don't have a bigger plot down here, but you can see the buyers coming in. We may only have a slight pullback. It closed there. Now it should bounce up if it's going to move forward. I'm going to wait here and see what happens. It could just sell off. Or it could bounce up from the second candle as well. Now we're back up to that support level. This is probably where it's going to bounce up. We have good volume. Will it hold? Doesn't look like it. There it goes. It did take off. This works almost every time. I'm telling you, wait on these pullbacks. Even if you just took a shot at it, you're in the money. And with 8 out of 10 of these things working, why not? Can't win them all. It's trading. It is looking kind of weak. So if you're in profit, I would consider making a decision any moment you see a red candle. Still creeping up slowly. I'm watching the buyers down here. They're pretty much flat. I mean, the sellers. I'm seeing weakness though, so I would be clear of that one already. And the moment you do that, it's going to go up $3. That's how that works. Still crawling up. No red candle yet. So far, only about an 8 or 10 cent gain if you were able to capture it down here at the bottom. There's that red candle. If I was trading it, that's an out for me. I did not trade it. So had I traded it and I got out at this red candle, it'll go up a few more. I've learned that through the years. I've learned to accept it. We're going to move on here. Got ABVC from $1.85 to $2.12. Needed to turn right around and come back and retest 206. We tried to do that back here and it failed. Let's see if it can do it this time. So we're pulling back to that 206. I don't know if I'd trust this or not. Since it failed back here, it may fail again. Everything turning bearish. Look over here. You see all this red? That's caution. I'm going to mark this level right here. Good job, Dusty. So we're testing that 206. Will it go back up? Will it finally break through and go? Not looking too promising. So it fails again. Hopefully you didn't buy into that. You were listening to what I said about it failing back here. The SPY is kind of red, kind of channeling to the right. Maybe a pullback here. Buyers are pretty strong. I can see the sellers chasing them though. That's what's keeping it down. These sellers are chasing the buyers. Nice angle up on these moving averages. Nice separation between the moving averages, so it's pretty strong still. Tough market this morning. It would definitely be a green candle chasing day because they're not doing anything after the run up. TME, nice volume, nice run up, waiting on a pullback. Hasn't had a pullback yet. May not get one since it's a high flyer stock. Maybe a subtle red candle and then a continuation. So these stocks down here, they don't have really big pullbacks. They're pretty solid in their movement towards the upside. So you would play these by catching the little dips back down to the 5 EMA. It's kind of late in the run. Volume is dying off on this stock. It's frozen at 17,314. Couple more buyers coming in. The low volume play. Good job, Raphael. Showing weakness down here in the buyer side on this stock. The sellers are also laying back. Martina, if you catch me on Discord, leave me a message and support, and I'll walk you through getting it straightened out. Or if you know about the gear icon, and when you go to Studies and Edit Studies, click the gear icon by V4 if you're using it, and adjust those two parameters to 5 and 13. So you can see this stock came off of the high flyers. And the moving averages are stacked, as I said. We do have separation. You can see how strong these stocks are. May not have much volume, but they don't have a bunch of sellers dragging them down either. Needs a lot more volume to really pick up speed and take off. We're going to move on from that one. Try this next one. Quite expensive. Looks like the SPY is falling. You can see the SPY falling in these columns. You can see all the red come in when the SPY starts falling. Like everybody says, the SPY is falling, let's bail, and they do. See all that red? BIDU moving up, $116 stock. Looks really good down here on the volume lines. Sellers are laid back. Buyers are in control. Could be a pullback here on this BIDU. This candle closes. We'll see what happens. It did close right there. We may bounce back up to here. We'll zoom in a little bit on this one and see where we go. So that's a dollar bounce between here. Showing weakness down here. But the sellers are still laying down. There's half of that dollar. Thank you, my flash. See if we can get that whole dollar out of this stock. Getting close. Doesn't really have the volume to drive it up. Very low volume, 30,000, 29,000. Doesn't look like it's going to play out. SPY's headed down. If the SPY was going up, it probably would have worked. Okay. We see how this day is going to go. Still got a chance for this to move up. It has not broken through support. Trying again. Guess we got to give up on that one. If you did buy it down here at the line or close to it, you may want to hang on to it and keep an eye on it unless it breaks through support. Chances are it will make it back up here. Man, SGD cost me some money. I'm staying clear of it. Y'all can chase it if you want. It's been very volatile. It may jump up 50 cents, but it sure can drop $1 real fast. But if you want to play it, chase it. Probably getting near a halt. If it gets any stronger, it will halt. I can make it go down just by clicking the mouse button on the buy. So if you're in it, I won't click my button. Maybe a pullback. Maybe a pullback. Hey, we did drop to here. I'll mark it. It happens to the best of us, Kenny. If it doesn't lay out perfectly on this pullback strategy, I don't get in at all. I wait on those great setups. Has to play out exactly as I'm thinking in my head with these support and resistance levels. If it does, I'm in. If it doesn't and acts like this, I'm not getting in. Now we probably have a resistance line in front of that price. IAG, slow crawler to the upside, cheaper stock. The SPY does not know what it wants to do. It's just kind of channeling sideways. Volume is dying off. Getting close to that 9 o'clock hour where it dies every morning. So far, we haven't had a good clean pullback play. Everything's been chase green candles if you want any money. That's the way the day's been going. Malik, I have $1 as my minimum price and 500,000 for my volume, and that's the only thing I have. Then, of course, you have the code that's on 1 minute with EXT checked. So $1, no maximum, 500,000 on volume, 1 minute EXT. So that's that unpredictable SGD. That's how volatile it is. Good job, Neil. Malik, did that help? $1, 500,000 on volume. SGD still moving up. Well, I shouldn't have said nothing. Because the moment I said it, boom. We're retesting 446 here. We could bounce up off of this level. Or we could do this and pull back for 5 minutes, and then boom, another candle pops up. Looks like we may get the pullback here. See you later, Flo. Have a blessed one. It did do a pullback play. I did not play it. So about a 30-cent bounce on that one on the pullback. Immediately lost it though. Thank you, Neil, for that contribution. It's greatly appreciated. This is one stock you're not going to tell where it's going to end up. Just when you think it's over, it runs again. And when you think it's running again, it goes down. We are watching a falling SPY. We do have a lot of red, but some of you were able to get a piece of this back here or wherever you caught the run. The whole point is we knew about it. It was up here in our watch list. We didn't have to go looking for it. You can see the sellers are taking over now on this stock. I'm going to move on from that one. That's a very expensive $261 stock. Scan just refreshed. Tesla now up here on the top. Let's see if Tesla is making a nice move today. MDT kind of floating sideways. Price, you can play it either direction. Just reverse what you see us doing. So if it's falling and you put a level up here and it returns back up to that level, that would be resistance and it'll fall more. You just play the whole system in reverse. You would want to see the red line above the green down here. You won't see many shorts on these scans. They're mostly programmed for up. I do have some scans that are finding stocks that are falling. I'll put up the TQQQ. We don't trade it here, but I'll put it up there and take a look at it. Not looking good at all. It's going to head downwards. Volume was higher. Now it's kind of drooling down. Moving averages are in reverse. The white is below the blue, so it may continue coming down. You can see even on a bad day, this high flyers is still producing what is the best chance of making money. Problem is they're already moving up and you have to wait on the pullbacks. But they are strong. They're lower volume stocks. They're not really volatile, which makes it good. So chasing green candles in this column is a better chance than chasing green candles up here. See you later, Raphael. You have a blessed day. SPY trickling down. It's making slight bounces up, but down more. Silo's still bullish here on the high flyer scan. In number one position. Not paying very much, but it's paying something. Looks like they gave up on it and got out. This crawl was too slow for them. Chad, I'm hearing it's a volume issue with this, I guess, this merger or migration. We've already checked the code several times, and if it has volume, it should be moving. There's a low volume issue with ThinkorSwim currently. I don't know if I have a bug here. I don't think I do. I've had verification of it. But a lot of them are working fine, and then you get to the one or two that's not working. So I don't really understand why would it work on some and not others. I did hear somebody mention there was a low volume issue with ThinkorSwim. I don't know if that's because of the migration or not. I'll continue watching it, see if I can figure it out, but I've tried already to let you know. It's just happening on some stocks, but not the majority of them. I'll get it straightened out eventually, or maybe ThinkorSwim will straighten it out for me. They did knock this out a few months ago with this migration. Had to totally reprogram it to get it going again. Just be glad when it's all over with. I haven't even moved over yet. Habanero, I tend to do this sorting by volume spike at market open because it's so volatile. I want to see the higher spike stocks come to the top. So I'm not trying to dig them out through the list. That's the only reason I do it. You may want to try it. It may work for you at market open as well. AVXL moving up. You can see the sellers coming into this stock. This is a good example. It's working on this stock with lower volume, but it didn't work on the previous stock. It's got to be a data flow problem with volume. Volume has died on this stock. The SPY is doing nothing. We can't get a direction out of the SPY. It's going to be hard to find anything worth going up. I mean, this volume is probably lower than Silo, and it's working. It's kind of like the Schwab Blue, I guess they call it. ThinkorSwim. Why do you have to wait a day when you import an indicator? I mean, if you import it, aren't you importing it on your own computer? You can see how promising these stocks are, these high flyers, when the moving averages are stacked in the right position. They may pull back slightly, run up some more, pull back slightly, run up some more. They're pretty stable stocks, really. I see SHOT popping in here. It must have bounced up. It did. It's actually in a halt. So some big buyers came in. We're dealing with a very low volume day, really. Very low volume. Might be wise to sit on your hands. Wait for pre-market in the morning. Maybe we'll get a good one and you can spend your money wisely. These slow crawlers, you don't know if they're going to slow crawl up or slow crawl down. That's the problem, especially with low volume today. Yeah, SHOT is held. It's in a halt. We can find these stocks all day long, going up just very little and pulling back, and going up and pulling back. What we really want is something where all the buyers are on top of it and driving it up instead of just slightly bouncing around. Been a tough day. If you didn't chase green candles today, you probably didn't make any money. We only had the one stock that actually played out on the pullback. It took forever to do that. You can see how steady the percentages here. They're not really moving up. They're kind of just a couple of ticks here and there. Joshua, I do short stocks. I haven't been shorting for a while now, though. I kind of feel guilty driving these companies broker when I short them. I prefer shorting in a bull market. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I would rather short something that's been driven up high and watch it fall rather than short a struggling company. Guess you could say I'm an emotional trader too. Not so much as emotional over the stock, but over the overall presence of the companies. Shot is still in a halt, probably be coming out of here soon. Well, if I'm shorting it when it's running up and we're overall, the economy's doing good, I don't feel so bad about it. But the economy's not doing good. Yeah, we're watching shot here. Profit takers are definitely jumping out. Lots of selling going on. Is holding this price level pretty strong. Yeah, the SPY's falling as well. I didn't make any trades today, but I don't feel bad about it either. I didn't have to chase any green candles. I'm not in the hole. I don't mind waiting on the morning. Try again. Just hit them harder in the morning and make up for not trading today. That's providing we get a play tomorrow. It may be a sluggish day as well. People going out of town for Thanksgiving, they'll probably be traveling tomorrow. So it may be an awful day. You are welcome, JC. Stonks, there's no halt warning in ThinkorSwim. The only reason I can detect it is that I see the price quit moving, and if you look down in the ladder on Active Trader, you usually see a high volume of either buyers or sellers ticking away down there, but the price is not moving. That tells me it's halted. Then all of a sudden, all the shares disappear in the price ladder. See you later, Alfredo. Appreciate you joining us this morning. Have a blessed day. Maybe Schwab will give us a halt indicator. I tried to create one. I actually did create one for ThinkorSwim, but it didn't really work so hot because if some stocks are not trading, then they all showed it's halted. So it's going to have to be done internally through ThinkorSwim. See you later, Lance. Appreciate you joining us. We're winding down here. The stream will end in a couple of minutes, actually a minute and a half. Appreciate everyone who joined us this morning. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. Give me some likes on this live stream. Give me some likes over on YouTube. Comment on the videos on YouTube. Let YouTube know I'm doing a good job over here. There's a link to our YouTube channel. Join our Discord. Come join all the other investors. We're all one big happy family. We'd love to have you on board. Here's a link to our Discord. Get set up, be ready for tomorrow morning. If you haven't done so, come here and learn how to play these indicators. They really do work. I don't have to prove them to you. They will prove themselves to you. You just have to learn how they're functioning, and then you can move forward with trading. Thank you to everyone who showed up this morning. Have a very blessed day, and as always, God bless. See you later. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.